I am probably going to regret this, as I usually do. Um, I have a statement that I would like to make because of some recent discourse that has happened here in Atlanta that I'm actually, for once, not involved with. But I feel involved because there have been some comments made about the casting process and talent here in Atlanta. And this might be a very long video, but I feel like I need to say something, and I will probably never get called into these casting directors' offices again, because if you don't know me, my name is Chad Darnell. I am a casting director and an actor and a writer and a director and a producer. It has not been a good week for me. I have a film that has been on and off and on and off for 2 years thanks to COVID. Before all of this happened, I was working steadily in Savannah and Atlanta and Richmond, and I wanted to get out of casting, and the universe found a way to make that work for me. And then I shot a film in February of 2020, and then the world shut down just as I was set to return to LA. And it was that way for 2 years for me. I went back to LA in July of 2020 to start working on the film. I was handed a Christmas script instead, worked on that for 2 months, that thing died. We were going to shoot The Intelligent in November in Brooklyn. Brooklyn turned into a hot zone. We'll shoot it back in LA at the beginning of the year. The only work that I had for 2 years was a little film at the beginning of last year, which paid me like the lowest money I've ever made in casting. And it was not a good experience. And then I went to LA, and we sat there for 2 months. One of my actors, originally we couldn't get him from London because of the travel ban. We recast him, then a studio got involved, and then there was another push. And then there was people with cancer and COVID, and another shoot conflicts. And so we just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And the IATSE strike was going to happen, and then it didn't happen. And then we were 10 days away from shooting, and then shut down again. And then it was gonna be April, and then it was gonna be May. And so I'm not in a good place, and I probably should not be making this video right now. But I do feel like I have to address something, because some of the discourse has come from a comment that was made by a very prominent, very talented casting director who made a comment that sitting around for $132 an hour and eating free food all day long sounded like a good day. And the discourse came from the fact that that's not what actors do. Like, we're not sitting around for $132 an hour, sitting around eating free food all day. That's the thing. And she did apologize for the comment about the hourly rate. But sweet human, that was not what upset people. What upset people was the fact that you generalize the entire experience of being an actor to free food and sitting around all day. And I went to bed. I saw the comment, I went to bed, and then I woke up the next morning, and then I did see today all of the tweets. And this very sweet casting director mentioned that people should start taping services. And again, it's just like all the things that just for all of us were just gasping in horror, because that's not what we do. Now, how this whole thing started was based on a conversation that a very talented actress made in regards to the fact that Marvel comes here, they shoot their big movies, and then we in Atlanta are expected to make scale plus 10. And scale plus 10 for a union movie is about $1,000 a day, or $132 an hour. So that is, an issue. Now this is going to be, this is bad. But I'm going to tell you a secret that no one has ever discussed. And I may regret this video. I am a casting director, and I have worked in Savannah. I have worked in Atlanta. I just worked in North Carolina. I moved back here in 2013. The film market was nowhere where it is now. We had like 2 TV shows and 2 movies. Back in the 90s when I grew up here, we had like a couple of TV shows, and then we had years where there was no movies at all. And the market was so small then of actors that most of us did theater. So nobody was buying houses off of working as an actor. And now I have several friends that's their day job. They are recurring characters on TV shows. They book all the time on certain shows. And for those actors that live here locally in Atlanta, absolutely, they should be getting paid more. Period. Because those actors bring value to a show. They are a recognizable face. There are actors that are friends of mine that are on The Walking Dead, that are on The Resident, that are recurring characters, and they'd go to conventions. They are helping sell the show beyond what you see on a screen. They should be compensated. I have pushed for actors because they have been on these shows, because I can cast that role locally and they don't have to fly the actor in from LA. And for the past 2 years, that was a gift that so many series regulars and guest star appearances were being cast from here, because it was scary to fly an actor from Los Angeles, get them here with the COVID testing, because they had to test before they left, they had to test when they got here. It's very expensive to fly them here, especially when they might not get used. So more opportunities did come up for local actors in the past 2 years because of COVID. Lots of actors started working a lot because of that. And I almost booked my first show in a big role because they were down to an actor in LA having to take a COVID test. The fucker passed. That is step one. Like, we have talent that bring value to a show. They should be paid more. Now, here's the other thing. The agents in Atlanta, they negotiate for that. They do say we know that some of them are overscale. And like on a big project that is a basic agreement contract, which is a full SAG budget, not SAG low, SAG ultra low, SAG modified low. That's where one would consider like, okay, we need to pay their overscale rate. You can't ask for a quote, but you know that they're not going to be scale. And then you have to express that at a certain point with the producers and director, like, here's the deal, this person is not scale. You have to have those conversations, you have to be transparent. I have fought for actors for overscale, and I have been shot down. I don't write the checks. I don't negotiate for the actors. I represent the management for the actor. And as a casting director, I do fight for higher based rates for those talent, so we're growing the market so that we do have actors that are making wages that reflect the work that they're doing in these larger roles. Now, some of the smaller independent stuff, which is what I tend to cast because I'm cheap, there's just not the money. They will come in and they'll be like, no, everybody is scale plus 10 on this. And it's because they've brought in their value, their name, the talent that they have brought in from LA that is financing the film. But I will still try to push. Now, at the same time, there are so many actors that don't work all the time that I always try to hold the door open for. And I'm trying to push for those actors so they can get in and they can start booking and they can build their credits. I do not feel that has happened for me as an actor. Lots of things that I auditioned for, again, we'll regret this video later, I see who they cast, and I'm like, huh, it's the same person over and over again. There is the A+ version of me, and that person works all the time. God bless him. But that's number one. It's not about the money, though we need to increase the rates for our talent that are bringing value to a show based on their credits, based on their worth for the show, if that makes sense. Another problem that we have here in Atlanta is that actors will get cast in a recurring role and they get co-star credit at the end. Like, if you're not going to pay them more money that you're paying the LA or New York actors, at least give them front title credit. And at least give them that. And they won't even do that. Or it's not being fought for. Because when I've asked for it, I've gotten it for my talent. I have gotten it because it's just a credit. It's not extra money. And sometimes that credit is more important than the money. We as actors, what we do it because we love it. We spend hours rehearsing. We spend hours in training. We spend hours developing ideas and creating the worlds for those characters. And we're not getting paid for that. That's not part of the $132 an hour rate. Learning the lines, physically working out to get into shape for a character or losing weight for a character. We're not getting paid for that. It's not about the money. I don't know a single actor, and I know a lot of actors. I don't know a single actor that's like, I need to make my $1,000 this week. It's not about that. And it sure as shit ain't about the free food, because I have never eaten on set when I'm an actor because I'm afraid I'm getting it on my costume, or like upset stomach, and like, you just don't know what's gonna happen down there once you eat. So that's another thing that was just an odd statement. And sitting around all day. We're not sitting around all day. We're having to conserve our energy. We're having to stay focused, learn lines that just came out on set that day. That it's not a vacation. It's fun. It is a challenge, and we love it, and that's why we do it. I can't tell you how many times this past year I've been like, I just want to call my agent and be like, just fuck it, take me off. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I want to get back into it. It's something that if you're not an actor, you don't understand. And we do it to tell stories. We do it to get something out of us that is in there. It ain't about $132 an hour and sitting around all day eating donuts. And I felt very disrespected by that comment, as did a lot of people. So I appreciate the fact that you apologized for the hourly rate, but why everybody was upset was because what we do is hard. It's not brain surgery, but it is a talent. And it is a talent that is developed over years and in experiences. And that's what you're paying for. And that's what we're fighting for. I know so many actors that are like, oh, I live for the applause. I need, they want to be seen, I'm so not that. I want to disappear into an actor so much that I don't want to do the curtain call at the end. I hate curtain calls more than terrorism. We had to do them on Closer. I hated it every night. It's just gone through this emotional scene and it's like, clap for me. We're all different. And I do it for the fun, the trickery part of acting. I do it for the trickery because I want people to believe that I am my Hedwig mannequin, that I was a German pop singer, or my agent, when he came to see Hedwig, he thought that I had been drinking on stage. He thought I'd gone through an entire bottle of vodka on stage. I'm like, I would be dead if I drank that much vodka, number one, especially in the heels that I was dancing in. It's called acting, Jason. I want people to believe that I have a British accent. That's why I spent a lot of money on a British accent coach for a play. But these are skills that we pick up that we can use next on the next show. It's not about $132 and free food and sitting around on set. So I hope to God because I have been blasted before. I lost 3 films a couple of years ago because of a stupid article, an article that Project Casting posted about, and you can Google it, Savannah needs acting classes. I did not say that I couldn't cast anybody out of Savannah. And this is this is before everything blew up there. This is before I moved to Savannah. I had done Magic Mike there, and I was casting extras on the second worst movie of all time, The Do-Over. And I did an interview because they wanted me to move to Savannah to teach and grow the market. And I said in an interview, if you want to be an actor, take acting classes so we can cast you. I can't just because you've worked as an extra for me on Magic Mike does not necessarily mean that you're going to go toe to toe with Channing Tatum into a scene. You have to have classes. And that's what I was saying. And it became this whole thing. Magic Mike XXL casting director, Savannah needs acting classes. And then it went on into the article to say that I said Savannah can't compete with the Atlanta market, which was true. But I didn't say that. But even if I had said that, it was fucking true. And now the people in Savannah in that time, I mean, it was like, if you can imagine landing on a remote island where nobody has seen a movie before or seen acting, and that there are lots of actors in Savannah, so let me take that back. But most of them were not film trained in film acting for the camera, professional. There's some really great teachers that are there, but sorry, somebody's texting in. But it's everybody in Savannah can agree with me. It is a far different market now than it was when I made that comment, because people got off their asses and took classes. Classes is not a bad word. Expensive classes is. Do not be taking classes that are $400 a month. So I hope that this is heard with the spirit that is intended, and should the casting people who made those comments and retweeted them hear this, I hope that you sincerely hear this with the love and light that is intended for it. I am not trying to bash you. I am simply trying to share with you the collective experience that I am getting in my DMs, that we just want to be seen as people that are fighting for our jobs. And that is a very different experience from most occupations. For us, it is not about $132 an hour sitting around eating free food all day. We sit around eating free food the other 364 days of the year. So hopefully I don't get canceled over this. Like, subscribe, and share. And put in the comments if there's anything that you want to know, and I probably will really regret this. But I needed to say this. I needed to say this, and I spoke my truth. And actors, as a casting director, I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to write and direct, but that doesn't seem to be fucking happening. When I'm a casting director, I will fight for you. I love watching your auditions. I love what you bring to the role. I learn from you as a director, and I want us all to win. That's it. Bye.